You've found your way to the Winning Tactics podcast with host Adam Sinkus. Adam discusses winning tactics with small business owners and entrepreneurs, uncovering processes and introducing the tools and solutions for enhancing the bottom line. Thanks again for finding your way to the Winning Tactics podcast, and now your host, Adam Sinkus.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another wonderful episode of the Winning Tactics podcast. I am your host, Adam Sinkus, and I hope you all had a wonderful Easter. I can't believe we are already into April. This year is flying by, but I'm excited. I got Amani Roberts with me today, DJ, college professor, digital video marketing expert. And we're going to be talking about video as part of your marketing strategy, something I'm hugely passionate about, especially considering, I don't know, I have a live video show every week. So welcome to the show. So glad to have you on. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, first of all, Adam, just thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it. My name is Amani Roberts, based out of Los Angeles, California. I'm a DJ, author, music producer, live streamer, professor. That's what I do. And that's a quick summary. I grew up working in hospitality, worked at hotels for almost 20 years, been a DJ now for almost 14 years. And I just love what I do. And it's been interesting to explore the live streaming world the last year. And I'm happy to share what I learned.
Fantastic. Well, we are so glad to have you on the show. Video is becoming more and more important in our marketing strategy, especially, especially considering platforms like TikTok, and you got Instagram, the short videos there. And even now, Twitch is starting to kind of take a swing towards being a little more friendly to shows like mine and more conversational shows, and not just video game streamers. So let's kind of dive into this. So small business owners, I think one of the biggest hurdles that they really reach into with video as part of their marketing strategy is time. Because it does take a little bit of time to do video. But what are your thoughts on that? How can they really overcome that time and really start to integrate video into their marketing strategy?
I think a couple of things I've learned is if you can carve out and set a schedule, and maybe, if you're a small business, if there's 1 day a week or 2 day a week, you're going to produce some sort of live video content. It could be a show that streams on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, anywhere, but carve out a schedule, try to stick to the schedule, and then figure out what will make your stream, your live show unique, but make it so that it's about you, so you love it. Because I've found that if you love to kind of what you're talking about, what you're doing on the show, then you'll come back to it week after week after week, and it's not more like a task. It's more like something you look forward to, have fun with it. Invite people to come onto your live show, also like you're doing with guests. I think all those different aspects will help you make the time part of your schedule, and you'll start to see value as you continue and be consistent.
I absolutely love the schedule piece of that, right? I think there's a couple advantages there, and it's not just about your time, but it's about your audience's time as well, right? If they know when to expect you, they're going to make time to be there when you're out on video. It's the same thing I take in posting in social media. I try and post on my social media accounts around the same time every day. It's just about that expectation of when am I going to show up, so people come looking for me at that time. So I think that's definitely a great call out in creating a schedule. It also, I think, makes it more consumable for people as well, right? So when I say consumable, I mean even as a business owner, we have to we have to set time aside to dedicate to it. And time is that one thing that we don't always have enough of. I mean,
Right.
you like me are involved in 12,000 different things going 12,000 different directions all the time. And so, you have to carve out that time and go, this is when I do it every
Hmm.
week, every other week, once a month, and be consistent with that. And it becomes a part of your schedule, a part of your life. I don't schedule anything on Tuesday nights. Tuesday nights is podcast night. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, um, so let's talk a little bit about the difference between live video and recorded video, because obviously you probably do some recorded video as well. Live video is a great medium, but it's maybe I think it's fearful for people that haven't been in that arena. And recorded video, because you can erase it and try it over again and erase it and try it over again, makes it a little more consume or a little easier to start there. So what are some tips on getting some good videos out there for your audience, just in general, to push out to your social media accounts, or even onto your website?
I think live video, to get through the fear, like if you've done a Zoom meeting before, you can do live video. I think people kind of appreciate and look forward to the imperfections. There's no such thing as perfect. Even if you record a video, it will never be perfect, 100% perfect. And I think that the way people are consuming content nowadays is they like to see people maybe pause or stumble over their words because it lets them know they're more real. It lets people know that you're just like them. So with live video, just try it out, because once you have live video, then you have recorded video. So you can record a live show, 30, 45 minutes, an hour, chop up different snippets of it. There goes your content that you could put up on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and just rinse and repeat. You could do some editing on those clips, put them together, fade in, fade out. And I think that you'll get more authentic responses and reactions if you just stick with live video and go from there. And it's a beautiful thing, and it's what we're moving towards, and people love it. And I just think it should be feared less and embraced more.
I agree. I was terrified of video for a long time, and now the only thing I'm terrified of in video is my family interrupting me when I'm got on a perfect roll. So, I I think a lot of it, like you said, is just getting out there and doing it. I look back at some of the early episodes I did of the Winning Tactics, and I go, "Gosh, I was a terrible interviewer. I had like zero energy." And but now I look, a year later, and it's a totally different beast. I'm a totally different person on camera than I was when I first started. So it's you're right. It's just about getting out there. And I love the call out that you make about going from live video to the recorded space, because I do that. That's the whole premise of my show. Is I started out as a live show, but then you can turn it into all kinds of different content. How do you slice up your live video? What else do you use your live video for from a content strategy for your marketing?
I'll use it for highlights that I might put up on Instagram to try to bring people in for future episodes, whether it be DJing shows or shows I'm doing on Twitch. I'll upload full shows on YouTube. I've kind of gotten away from live streaming on YouTube because I just don't get the traffic. But what I'm trying now is that if I upload full shows on YouTube, I kind of can do better with the meta tagging, things like that, which can give me more traffic. And then I might use a few, like for my newsletter, might put some snippets in there so people can see. I'm also using many of the clips that I do like as a reel. You can pretty much make
Mhm.
your own sizzle reel, excuse me, and do that too. And snippets on Twitter, just different places to put it that can people show. People are getting tired of just seeing static images. So if they see video, and it's hard because sometimes you don't have enough time to add the captions underneath. But just putting it out there so people can look, click, watch, listen, and just see, oh, I see what it is. I learn and just observe.
Yeah, I the caption thing is always interesting to me, right? I'm a one-man band on my show. I don't have a virtual assistant that's doing all the back end for me. I'm doing this plus all my other businesses and things, and just projects and stuff that I'm working on. So, to spend time to get captions done is can be very, very time consuming. Do you think captions are something that's critical in video at this point, or do you think people can get away without captions?
I think it's nice to have. It cannot hurt, but it's not going to make or break you either. Some, like Facebook, I think will put them there automatically, which is good. LinkedIn, not yet, but I bet that's coming soon. Um, so I'm kind of torn because I know I need it, but I just don't have the time to do it. So you just kind of, if I can get there, I can get there. Otherwise, I think the video is more important because people can always just kind of unmute, listen, mute it back again. So that's a tough one.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a nice to have. I don't think I agree. I don't think it makes or breaks the video. And LinkedIn did, at least on my feeds, has started doing the closed captioning.
Yeah,
So I think Twitch is about the only one that doesn't by default have it turned on now. But I'm pretty certain it's available on Twitch now as well.
right.
Um, but it's interesting because I hear so many of the so-called influencers say you have to caption your videos, you have to caption your videos. And I see some advantage to it, but again, I don't know that it's impacting views or impacting the spread of the message as a whole.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So we just kind of test it out. If these services are going to put it up automatically, then we're good anyway. So I'll just wait for that.
Yeah, no, let's dive into the tools a little bit because there are a lot of different tools out there for video for your business. Some of them very easy to use, some of them not as easy to use, and some of them require dang near a computer science degree to get through. Thank you, Adobe. I love your products, but oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what are some of the tools that you're using to produce your live videos?
I use a tool that you use. I use StreamYard for a lot of my interview shows and game shows that I do. It's very convenient. Also, sometimes I'll record videos without the live stream part on StreamYard. So it's a very diverse tool. I love it. It's easy to use, simple, good quality. That's probably the main one I use. I also use OBS, which is like Open Broadcasting System, I think it stands for. That's when I do my live streams when I'm DJing. Very interactive, overlays, lots of different elements. Very complex, but very quality. I was scared to use it at first. I had a colleague of mine, DJ Ivy, who sat me down for 90 minutes, walked me through how to use it, set up scenes, how to layer things, and then I had to teach myself through videos. But now I do okay on that. So I use those are the two main platforms I use for live video. In terms of editing, I told myself at the beginning of the pandemic, because I'm a professor, we get free Adobe Suite products. So I had to force myself to learn how to use Adobe Premiere Pro. Now I'm much better at it. I'm by no means a wizard, but I know how to like fade in, fade out, do the audio, scenes. I don't have much of the tech, like the text and things like that, but at least I can edit videos, chop them up in there, add music, add a voice track underneath it. I'm so much further along than I was before. So I used Adobe. My backup would be like iMovie, so I use that. And then in terms of hardware, when I'm streaming, I've now shifted to like a PC. I find that PCs are much better for live streaming than Macs, and I'm a Mac fan through and through, but PCs do it much better. And I have this other tool. I don't have it with me. Stream Deck. Now, Stream
Yep.
Deck is like a switcher will let you push buttons and switch things. Oh, it's good. I'm not even using it to its fullest capability, but I got to learn that too. So those are some of the tools that I'm using that I feel very comfortable with and has allowed me to really have a really produced show. Like, you're using StreamYard. This is like real TV, and I can do the same thing and make switches and pull and plug, and it's phenomenal. And I knew none of this a year ago. None of it.
One of the things I love about StreamYard, Restream's another platform that's very similar, is the fact that, for instance, I put on a pretty much a fully produced show. It comes out of StreamYard with my intro, my outro, and pretty much everything I need to have a complete project that I can then load to YouTube with very little, if any, editing. And so I think that that's really important from a time perspective for small business owners to think about that. I can do 90%, 99% of my video in just the live broadcast all in one shot without having to play with it and do anything with it. You mentioned Adobe. I love Adobe. It's so expensive, but I use it in my marketing business, so it is a necessary evil for us as well. But for those of you that are listening, there is essentially a free version of Adobe Premiere, which is their video editing software called DaVinci Resolve. It is almost as good. I would say it's 99.99% as good as Adobe, and it works almost exactly the same. So if you're looking for some low cost, zero cost video editing software, it's phenomenal software for being an open source software. So definitely check that out if you're looking to get into video editing. The other thing I always look at, there's plenty of options on Fiverr for people that will do this for $5-10 an hour overseas and do a pretty darn good job with some video and audio editing as well. So if you're running this for your business, it makes sense to invest a little bit to get a good finished quality product out of it.
Agreed. Yeah, definitely.
So let's talk about OBS just a little bit because I know a lot of people have heard about OBS, but are terrified of it. OBS is a super, super powerful software. Again, it's another open source, completely free software for video recording. It works well. There's actually some add-ins and some ways you can, through Zoom and through a site called OBS Ninja, where you can actually bring people into your streams as well. So just like I do in StreamYard, but the one thing that makes OBS different that I absolutely love is that I can completely customize every little piece of my stream, every little piece of my overlay to exactly what I want. I don't have quite that control in StreamYard or some of the other tools that are available. But what are some of the things? I know you said you use it for some of your DJ live streams. What are some of the things you have in your overlays that are cool features that people would like to see and play with?
Yeah, and I wrote down OBS Ninja because I'm still learning too, so I got to check that out. I have like just different pop-ups if someone subscribes to me, if someone donates bits, different things that pop up. I have different like videos that might play. I can hit a little button and these videos will play. I have like my cartoon there. I use the virtual camera a lot for like my meetings. If I have meetings, I'll use OBS to my virtual camera. In the wintertime, I had snow falling as I was talking, just different fun stuff like that to do. It's extremely powerful. It's free. It's open source, which means it's continuing to be updated. There are apps that are made for it, and it's great. I was able to use it, bring people into OBS via Zoom. It's like a Zoom camera, Zoom interviews, had co-hosts and things like that, and I like it. I want to learn more. It's very, very comprehensive, but if you could put it up and chop it into small little bites of things to learn, you'll be better off. I'm very glad that I took the time to learn, took a risk, and maybe had to take a small step back with my production to go really far forward. But now, like, and I don't even know about the process, like changing scenes and doing things on the fly, but I'm getting there, and it's cool. It will take a lot of power on my Mac just because of how it works, but I still use it frequently, and I use it always on the PC, so it's good. I'm just always trying to learn more about it, and that's kind of how I use it.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I love some of the overlays. There's so many overlays that you can actually just go download, like off the internet. Plenty of forums and places to get them that really simplify the process for you. Also, if you already have somebody doing graphics for your business, they should be able to help you out and do some custom overlays for OBS as well, because it uses standard graphic formats. They just need to
Right.
know what size to make it. So,
Mhm.
pretty much unlimited options there. Let's talk about hardware. Actually, we're going to pause for just a second before we jump into hardware, because hardware is an important part of it. But I want to thank my friends over at Cowork Hub Virtual. They are creating just a really, really cool virtual co-working space for coaches, consultants, freelancers, solopreneurs, really anybody that has less than a team of 5. But it is super cool. It is a virtual office platform. So think of, a WeWork or, any Regis, anything like that, right? But take that all online, where you can access it from your favorite beach to your favorite Starbucks. Get video conferencing, you get the sense of community and being able to see who else is on the platform. And I can virtually walk down to the break room and have a chat with Amani or whoever else is on the platform. And it's just a super, super cool platform. I've been using it for my virtual office for about 6 months now. And every time I log in and every time I have a client meeting on there, my clients go, wow, this is a really, really cool place. So definitely check it out, coworkhubvirtual.com. Let them know you saw it on the Winning Tactics, and they will hook you up with a free branded background for your office. So $50 value there. And I definitely appreciate them supporting our show as well. So um, let's jump back into it. We've talked a lot about software. We've talked a little bit about strategy, and we'll dive back into strategy. Let's talk about hardware a little bit, because I think that's important as well. So many people, I think, get hung up on the fact that you've got to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on audio equipment, and well, there's a bit of truth to that, in the respect of good equipment gives good quality sound and video and things like that. It's not always true that you have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on it either. So
No.
what's some of the equipment you're using hardware wise to do your streams?
So hardware, like I have a MacBook Pro. That's my main computer that I'm doing that stream on right now with here. And this right here is just a gaming headset, a HyperX gaming headset. Good microphone, great sound. I use that. I also have this audio interface that I've used for like my podcast for a while. I love it. It's called like the Zoom H6. It's an amazing audio interface. I also have a Focusrite 2i2 kind of as backup, and I use that upstairs in my streaming. Camera, I always tell people, see what you have in the house first before you go and buy anything. If you have old iPhones are very, very good cameras. You can hook them up, connect them to your computer. Very good cameras, flexible, do this and that. So don't go buy that. If you have an old DSLR camera or mirrorless camera, like a Canon, a Sony, that might be able to allow you to live stream. And they added a lot of software capabilities to do that. I did not have one, so I bought a Sony A6000. It's probably one of the best investments I made early in the pandemic. I got a new one for like $150 off, and it's brilliant. People always talk all the time about how my camera is very crispy, so that's good. I think that if you want a camera, look at like B&H Photo and Audio. They have a lot of used stuff there, so
Yep.
that's kind of the camera part that I use. In terms of microphone, a simple Shure microphone works too. Like you don't have to get all crazy. The nicer microphones can come later. I have a gaming PC. It's like a PC that's built for gamers that I use to stream. That really helps me stream at high frames per second without much lag. The fans keep it cool, so you don't hear the fans. That's probably the biggest addition in the last 6 months is a gaming PC. I need to figure out how to use it more, because it is like a lunchbox where I can take it around with me. So I need to really tap in and use that more, because it can be effective for me. I need to use that more. That's on my list of things to do. Um, and then I have like a couple extra monitors that I use. You can buy a monitor cheap for $99. I had one that I use for gaming that I also use for like my computer. Like I was looking at it right here. So I have a monitor will help you. But these are all things I had around the house.
Yeah.
I have different hubs that help me connect USB to the Mac. And so that's pretty much it. I just say, see what you have around the house first, and then maybe you can use what you have before buying something.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love that. It is really, really, a lot of it is that simple, right? To me, I think the two pieces that you called out, right, is a decent camera and a decent sounding microphone. Using your computer, your laptop's microphone is probably not the best option. Um, so I always recommend to people when they're getting started, it's the same microphone I use, which is the Samson Q2U. It's like less than $100, and it's really gives a pretty good sound for being less than $100. It's USB, but it also has the XLR connection as well. So if you want to upgrade later on to that full soundboard and the full setup, it'll easily switch over for you as well. So absolutely like that call out. Camera wise, I use a Logitech C922.
Yeah.
It's like $120 camera, fairly easy to get a hold of at pretty much any of your major office stores. And honestly, having good lighting makes a big difference as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, agree. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got it.
Lighting is key, especially like with some of the stuff you do with the DJing. You got to have all the fancy lights, right?
Yeah, well, fancy. But now I've learned how to use green screens. You got to make sure the green screen is properly lit. You make sure you're properly lit. Like, it's just amazing. Like, I had no knowledge of this a year ago, and now I can move and do this, and it's amazing. So it makes me happy because I love learning.
Yep, I do also occasionally run a green screen. Hack for everybody listening, you can go on Amazon and just search lime green bed sheets, queen or king size. They're like $20. I use when I hang my green screen, I literally use command hooks on the ceiling and binder clips, and sets up my green screen. It's
Done.
super, super cheap. It cost me, I think, $25 total in about 10 minutes of time. So, yeah, Greg Hine, great call out there. He says AirPods have worked pretty well for simple audio as well, and definitely agree with that one. They have a really solid sound as well. So I've had a few people on the show use those for their interviews. So
Yeah.
So very cool. Let's jump back into a little bit of strategy piece, right? Because I think we've talked a little bit about the tech and the fact that you can just a lot of what you need you can find around the office or your house, right off the bat, and what you don't have you can get relatively cheap. We've talked a little bit about some of the services and some of the tools as well. Um, how do we put this into play so that it makes sense for our audience?
And you reminded me with the story of the Amazon purchase of the green tablecloth. Like, I have a DJ friend. She just got the dollar store, the napkins, like the napkins for like $3 or $4, and had a brilliant looking green screen. So just be creative, which leads me to the point. Like, for strategy, depending on what kind of business you have, try to figure out what you can do to show about yourself and your business. So if you have a business and maybe you are, like you clean carpets or something simple like that, or just show yourself going to the events, maybe doing an IRL stream, in real life stream of you showing people what you're doing while you're cleaning, things like that, driving to and from. People love behind the scenes, like that. So figure out maybe what you want to show, and then also people love to learn. Like you and I, we love to learn. So if you can do a series, like maybe tips on how to do something very effectively in 3 or 4 steps, and you make that a series. We had a series for my streaming on Twitch where it's like, what's your setup? So just how we're talking about hardware, we show different DJs and streamers setups, what hardware they use, what microphone, their green screen, their computers. People loved it because, like, ooh, I see what you did. I want to do that. Ooh, I want to try that. How much is that? People, we love to learn. And sometimes there are questions that we're afraid to ask. So if you can be a resource, an educational resource in your industry, I think that will set you apart very quickly. And that's where I like to advise people to take their strategy. What questions can you answer that are pretty common that you think people, either clients of yours, want to hear answers to, maybe even colleagues, maybe competitors, but you never know when a competitor can become like a collaborator too, and use that as your motivation and your base to start to create content. And I think those are just some good 3 strategies to see which one fits for you, what you want to do, and then just try it, see what works, what doesn't work, and go from there.
I love the behind the scenes thing. I think that's so cool. It's something that people thrive on that. I see behind the scenes videos, like especially on TikTok,
Hmm.
and it's like it's so cool to watch the curtain be pulled back and see kind of the
Hmm.
inside of the interior view of people's businesses. There's a guy on TikTok, and I'm totally drawing a blank on his name, but uh he does carpet cleaning and carpet repair,
Hmm.
and like he has created this like story every time he does a carpet repair. He's like, so I went into this office, and it's like minute long video, but it's so entertaining on something that really, when I think about it, is such a mundane piece. Like he literally will cut a square of carpet out and put a new square in and match it up to the carpet and keep it moving, right?
Yeah,
20-minute job for him, and something very plain really in real life. He's found a way to make it intriguing and exciting. And now I look at it and I go, man, if I ever had a problem with carpets, guess who I'm calling?
exactly. Kept it simple and consistent, and look at him now, having an audience grow.
Yeah, I have no idea how many followers he has. He shows up on my For You page about every other day with a new video. So
That's good. Consistency. It wins.
consistency. Yep. So, the other thing I think is really important is just getting out there and doing it. We talked a little bit about that at the beginning of the show. Um, you know, record your first video. Just do it. I long ago had a buddy of mine, Jordan Paris. I was terrified of video. We were starting a networking group, and I was like, I'm not going to do video. I'm not going to do video. And finally, he just put me in front of the camera and said, "You need to make a promo video for our event this month." I'm like, "All right, screw it. I'm doing it."
Yeah.
And the rest is history. So, love that piece of advice. But I think one of the things that people need to be cognizant of, or remember, is that you can always go back and re-record your video and do it over again. You don't have to be live and worry about making mistakes. You can record a video on your cell phone 65 times for all intents and purposes if you want to put that much time into it. But people don't care if it's perfect.
No, yeah. Perfection is a myth, and I think you're right. Like the hardest thing for people to do is just to hit start. Hit start, record, start streaming. But once they do, it gets easier each time after that. And you learn about it. I've been streaming now for over a year. I still get nervous. I'm gonna go stream after we talk now. I'll be a little nervous, but I'm gonna start. I'm gonna do it. I find that when people take action, that's when they grow. We could talk about taking action, we could write about taking action, but when you take action, then you grow, you improve, and you know what they say about fear, false evidence appearing real. Like on the other side of fear is an empty room. There's nothing there. So if you can get through that, just start and just go for it. The world will open up and you'll just see, oh, it's not so bad. Let me try this. Let me try that. Okay. It went well. People watched it. People liked it. Okay, let's keep going. So the key is to start and then you're not allowed to give up.
I like it. Start and just don't give up.
Don't give up.
It's so simple.
Yeah, but it's so hard for people, and I get it because it's hard for me too. But it is simple. Just start. Don't give up. You'll find people that'll help you along the way, and just keep going. You can't
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah. No, I see it all the time, right? There are tons of people that will help you along the way, myself included. Amani, I'm sure
Hmm.
you'll help people out as well. Um, you know, just ask questions. There's tons and tons of people ready to answer questions and help you out along the way. It's that's I think, no matter what you're doing, video, marketing, business strategy, anything, just ask questions along the way. You get along. But where you're streaming on Twitch, you're streaming on Facebook. You said you took a break from YouTube. I agree with you on YouTube. I don't have hard data that says that it doesn't uh, that it doesn't help your reach, but my soft data says that my reach was much lower when I was live streaming to
Hmm.
YouTube versus loading it after the fact.
Right.
Um, so um, where else can people put video out there?
I think, you have Instagram stories, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. You can put on your website, so you can then include it and link it to your email newsletter, which is really important. LinkedIn, very powerful. Even if it's not live, you can put video up there. I'm sure that'll help bump you up the algorithm. So any social media network that you use, but don't forget your website, and just kind of create a library so that when people ask you for things, you can say, oh, here's the link, store it on Dropbox, Google Drive, wherever. And that's what I like to do, and just kind of keep it simple and go from there.
Yeah. No, I absolutely love it. I think you gave us some great insights. I always like to wrap up my show with a final thought, something that people can take away from the episode and put into action in their business tomorrow. So I'll leave the floor to you for what is your final thought for today?
I think I'm just going to continue the thoughts we had about just start. I just see so many people who are more talented than me, have more creative than me, that just let fear get in the way of starting, specifically like live streaming, doing live video, trying new things. And that just, hurts. And we need great content out there. We need the content from all of you to put it out there, because we need it there, because it's the future. And we want to learn what you're doing. We want to be able to support you. So don't let fear kind of stop you. Just start, ask for help, join a group of like-minded people, put content out. Don't let the equipment intimidate you, because I know it will. Don't let OBS scare you, because it scared me. Pick something simple like StreamYard, try it, just try to get better each time. And I think that you'll see that if you can create a live video element for your business, it will elevate you through new business. It will definitely increase your networking capability, and you will open up revenue streams that you hadn't anticipated before, just by showing what you're doing via live video.
Absolutely love it. Those last three things are so important. It's amazing having a show and thinking about some of the people that I've had the opportunity to talk to and go, if I didn't have a podcast, I would have never been able to even open a conversation with them, let alone, sit for 30 or 40 minutes and have a one-on-one conversation. So I think that's so cool. Such a cool aspect that people often overlook with live videos, an opportunity to invite somebody into your business and be involved with your business in a different way, instead of just going, hey, buy my services, buy my stuff.
Yeah.
So, well, very cool. Where can people find you?
My website is amaniexperience.com. That'll get you to me on all the social media platforms. It's just at Amani Experience, like A like Apple, M like Mary, A like Apple, N like Nancy, I Experience, the word. Twitch.tv/Amani Experience. LinkedIn, it's my name, Amani Roberts. If you reach out to me on any of those platforms, I love to chat with you. Just send me a message. You can come learn about Twitch, see my streams, whether it be interview shows, dating games, newlywed games, music streams. I cover the gamut. Diversify makes me happy. And then you can also go on my website, join my monthly or bi-monthly email newsletter, which I send out information twice a week. That's how you can reach me. I'm here to help, and I just love meeting new people.
Fantastic. If you're connecting with him on LinkedIn, send him #WinningTactics so he knows where you found him from. So we're just so appreciative of your time and your knowledge. It is such fun to hear about people's journey, especially in things like live video, because it totally is a journey as you move on and as you learn different things and different pieces of it. So appreciate everybody else that was listening today. We had a few people in the audience. Appreciate your time. If you're catching us on the replay, we are on all the major podcast networks and YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and follow on your favorite channel so that you don't miss an episode. And as always, have a wonderful week, and we will see you all again next week.
Awesome.
Well, that wraps up yet another episode of the Winning Tactics Podcast. You can find Adam on both the LinkedIn and Facebook platforms. And to support the show and ensure the success of the podcast, would you kindly consider visiting Patreon.com/Adam Sinkus? We greatly appreciate it. And until next time, from the Winning Tactics Podcast, remember, culture is how your team behaves when no one is looking. Take good care, and thanks for listening.